This is how you hold an open house in 2024 so you can get more listings, get more buyers, have more exposure, and make sure it actually works. First off, you want to make sure that people actually attend the open house. And that starts off with you grabbing your cell phone, doing a video at the house and saying, hey everyone, it's Krista and I am having an open house and I cannot wait to have you. Here's why you want to come, because I've got hot dogs and hamburgers out front. It's going to be like a little mini party, so be sure to show up. Here's the time, here's the date. So number one, invite them, record a video, run a Facebook campaign so you actually get exposure. You can do this by spending $20 or $30, and then make sure you put that on every single social media site. This is going to do a few things for you. Number one, it's going to show the seller that you're actually advertising their property. Number two, it's going to show the community that you're advertising the property. And number three, it's going to get you more exposure, more people to actually show up. And remember, you are always in a job interview. Anything and everything that you do is a representation of how they can expect that you will do for them when they work for you. You're showcasing your ability to the entire community, to the neighborhood, and to the seller. It will absolutely help you blow up your business. So that's number one. Number two, let's talk about the neighbors. They're called nosy neighbors for a reason. Think about it. When you're in your neighborhood and you see a sign go up, what's the first thing that you do? Well, if you're like me, I go to the MLS and I pull it up and say, who's the agent? What's it listed for? If you're a neighbor, you grab the flyer and you say, how much is it listed for? Why? Because people want to know the value of their home. So you want to invite all of the neighbors. And this is what that looks like. You do an 8.5 by 11 letter or an 8.5 by 11 postcard, and you actually say private open house showing for the neighbors. You can do mimosas at night, or you can do wine and cheese at night after hours so they can see it on the way home. You can do a pre-party, a pre-showing for neighbors before the open house starts. Invite the neighbors. In fact, in this video, request below in the comments and say, Krista, can you show me exactly what this looks like? I'm going to show you exactly how I had the neighbors at an open house just last month, and also everything I had at that open house so I can prove to you that it absolutely works. So invite the neighbors. This is going to do a few things for you. Number one, when you invite the neighbors, you're on a job interview. You're showing what they can expect from you when they hire you. Number two, you're having conversations. In real estate, it's all about conversations, getting people to know you. And here's the thing, you are not asking for anything. It's not like cold call door knocking when you're annoying and it's embarrassing and it's hard to do. You are adding value. You're inviting them to drinks and to actually get to see a pre-open house. So it works really, really well. Make sure on that neighborhood letter or on that postcard that you're walking the neighborhood and dropping off, that you also have a QR code. Now they can scan the QR code, and that QR code will take them directly to a video of you talking about the neighborhood and doing a specific neighborhood market analysis that is very recent. Number three, you want to make sure that when people get there, there's something of value to them when they get there. So what I do is I put my box. I have one box for buyers and I have a box for sellers. In the buyer box, I've got a buyer guide. I have my buyer book. I have the A to Z checklist of what you need to do when you're a buyer. And I also have a picture frame with something that says, thinking about buying, scan here to learn more about the neighborhood. The buyer will scan that. It will take them directly to a neighborhood community funnel that talks everything all about the neighborhood. Things that are there to do, what's nearby, local schools, local restaurants. There is so much information. Now, why is this useful? Now, remind you, I do one for a seller too, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Why is that useful to you? Because don't be that cheesy realtor that says, sign my book. You got to sign my book. Nobody wants to sign your book. And just for the record, half the time when they sign it, they are lying and giving you false information. How do you feel when somebody asks you for information that doesn't know you? You pretty much don't give them the right stuff. Don't be that cheesy salesperson. You want to give them a reason to want to scan that. Now, here's the good thing. Every month, you're going to update that funnel. You're going to update that video so it's recent, and tell them, hey, go ahead and scan there. It's information all about the neighborhood, and every month I update it with a new market report so you can see what's happening in the city and in the neighborhood. Now let's talk about sellers. You also want to have a picture frame, the QR code that says, neighbor, are you a neighbor or a seller? Click here. And then you're going to drive them to a funnel that's specific to sellers. It's going to have information about selling your property. You're also in the seller box going to have your seller guide, your seller's book, your marketing plan, okay? Now, again, what does this do? It shows that you are aggressive. You're going after people. You're knowledgeable about the area. It does so many things, and it positions you as the authority because nobody else is doing this. Now, let's continue on. What else do you need at the open house? What I do is I have on the TV or on my computer, I have the buyer community neighborhood funnel and the seller community neighborhood funnel up on the screen so they can actually see it and things will start rotating. I also do fun things like wine and cheese as well, and I talk to people, right? So you want to do what no one else is doing. Nobody else has a seller box. Nobody else has a buyer box. Nobody else has anything going to a community funnel for a seller and a buyer. They don't have books and buyer's guides and seller's guides. It's positioning me as the authority, making me showcase that I am the expert in the area. And here's the thing. Well, Krista, I'm not the expert. Well, guess what? Perception is reality. If you have videos and contact and information specific to the neighborhood, it's going to appear that you are the expert. Okay? What else do we need to do? Now, if you really want to wow people, I'll tell you what, one of my students put this on steroids. What did she do? She actually started grilling hot dogs. Guess what happened? All the neighborhood came to see. They wanted to show up, right? She had balloons for the kids. The golfers were like, can I have a hot dog? And people were coming to the open house because it seemed like a party, a barbecue in the neighborhood. She said she got 18 leads from buyers and sellers just because she spent about $20 on some hot dogs, grilled them up, gave them away, had some balloons, and made it inviting for people. And lastly, make sure that you've got the comparables there. Show the comparables in the market. Other homes that are similar. What's the average days on market? What's the list price of homes? What's the sales price of home? What's the absorption rate? Have all that information on hand at the property. And I know I don't need to say this, but please make sure you have got either a brochure for the home or a 4-page color brochure where there's a QR code that directs them directly to the property website that has the virtual tour, 360-degree tour, drone. Dress that home up for success. Showcase exactly what you are going to do for sellers or neighbors if they decide to list with you, and make sure you have all the pertinent information that a seller or a buyer would want to know about that property. Not only are sellers, when they come to an open house, looking at their comparables, they're also comparing you and thinking about what you will or will not do for them if they decide to list their home with you. Remember, you're always on a job interview. I hope this is helpful for you. I'm Krista Mashore. For more information and links, please click on the link below. If you like this, send it to your friends. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.
Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.